Hey everyone, Hotfany Head Tano here, punching you in the face with a new track review of this latest Death Grips song, Hothead. Death Grips, experimental hip-hop trio, don't need too much of an introduction at this point, I hope. I reviewed them so many times in the past. I'm probably going to put a few review links at the end of this video in the end slate. Click on them. And don't forget to smash the like and tell your mom to watch this video and listen to some Death Grips. The band has a new record on the way, Bottomless Pit, and in true Death Grips fashion, we are essentially completely in the dark about when that album is coming out. It's going to be coming out in 2016, but not exactly sure when. And speaking of dark, this cover over here, is the, I guess, the cover art for this new single. Really deep, man. Good job, guys. You know, kind of confused about this, but whatever. But in Death Grips' defense, this is probably what a bottomless pit looks like when you're on the inside of it. And if there's another thing about Death Grips, they know how to release a teaser track. A song that has that same level of intensity and aggression that you typically expect from the band, but with a slightly new and different angle that makes you feel either excited or kind of weird about what you're listening to. This track has, in my opinion, inanimate sensation levels of aggression, but just with like an extra heap, just a little bit extra, to the point where the song and the band's performance here is just unhinged. It's not complete noise, it's like controlled chaos, but this is one of the wildest performances I've ever heard on a Death Grips song. From MC Ride's blah 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 blah, oh no, to Zach Hill. Sounds like he's brought live drums back into the mix, back into the picture here, and he is bringing the hella era dizzying drum fills, snares, kick drums, and cymbals that you've come to expect from him as the amazing drummer that he is. And then Flatlander's bringing this wall of dissonant, weird, overwhelming samples, and then all of a sudden this roaring synthetic buzzsaw riff that reminds me a lot of the revving up vocals on Inanimate Sensation, or any number of just kind of squeaking, squelching, roaring tones that were on Jenny Death. The song, at least at its beginning, is freakish and really lives up to the title. The track tempers down just a little bit to become slightly more coherent in this really aggressive passage of the song. But we don't see an extreme change in the track until all of a sudden this kind of mid-pace drum groove comes in, these swirling, speedy arpeggios that have a cool texture to them, but the chord progression they're playing gets kind of old, kind of fast. And MC Ride's lyrics all of a sudden get more coherent. They're way more readable, but what he's saying just seems like a series of really insane, violent abstractions. Though, again, he is kind of adding to the title here, living up to the title of the track and kind of highlighting to us what exactly this song is about. He proclaims on this song that he has no filter and that nobody knows his business, I think making reference to the fact that he and Death Grips are kind of elusive in a way. Then there's a whole other series of lines that I think are either meant to just build up the danger factor of this song in Death Grips, or in a way be a weird threat to the listener or whoever Ride or the band might have had in mind. Hidden regime like Ebola, frozen cloud, call me vapor, blink and you're over. I think the most telling part of the track is when Ride says, act natural, must start attack! Just there in that one line, he goes from 0 to 60,000. And that's pretty much how this song is in general. Overall, I like the track. I think it's a pretty challenging song and could set precedent for the album. There are moments here that I find kind of abstract that remind me of like the first half of the Powers That Be. And then there are moments that are just explosively aggressive that remind me a little bit of the second half of the Powers That Be. Or even like a little bit of Government Plates, and yet I think there are some new things here too. Again, Death Grips, I think they just push it just enough steps ahead to, I think, stay ahead of the curve of their fan base and keep their sound at least fresh to my ears, fresh to the extent where, you know, the usual kinds of drum mayhem and vocal mayhem that turn up in a Death Grips song aren't getting old at this point. Whether or not I love this record that Death Grips is going to be coming out with next, it's going to be interesting to see where they move from here. I think that's all I have to say about this song too. I like the track. It's got my mouth watering. I'm not totally in love with how the band transitions from these more aggressive moments to these more subtle and kind of spaced out spots in the track. I think that they could have moved from one part to the next a little better, and that these parts of this song, these respective parts of the song, don't necessarily complement one another. But in a way, maybe that could be intentional to enhance just how rage-fueled one section of the track is, and how another part is a little more even-tempered. But that's really my only major critique of the track. What did you think of this song? Did you love it, hate it? Why? Transition! Did this track tingle your Pringle? Let me know. And what does it make you think about this upcoming Death Grips record? Are you psyched for it? And again, make sure to comment with your thoughts and smash that like. What should I review next? Death Grips, you the best. Anthony Fantano forever.